a former NFL star turned esports coach.
But I was getting the stink eye from my wife. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
And once a dad who can't stop playing Rocket League.
These kids these days, they're like, we're used to jump and run.
Together, they welcome you to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge.
Welcome into Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. I'm your host, Ahman Green. How you doing? I got my good friend and co-host, John Audius. Man, John, how you doing?
What is going on, Ahman? I was just on Twitter, and the big news around the National Football League is that it's finally done. The Green Bay Packers have traded their future Hall of Fame and multiple-time MVP, Super Bowl winning quarterback to the Jets. And I'm watching the video of Rodgers walking into the Jets facility. This is real life, Ahman. It's happened.
Oh yeah, it's just that eerie feeling or moment when it happened. What, 10 years ago, 20 years, almost 20 years ago, when Brett left the Packers to the Jets as well. And obviously for myself, I experienced that as well. Wasn't made of a big deal when I went to Houston, but it was something where I myself was probably more in shock than the fans were, because it was just a situation that I never thought would come. I did finish thank God I finished my career in Green Bay. But I never thought I would leave it to come back to finish my career in Green Bay. So that was something for me that it was and I mentioned it on the show. We talked about it from time to time, how my experience in Houston was, I say it was a learning experience. I'll say that, it was something that I use a lot of the situations that I've been in during that year, those 2 years, to help me better in life, basically, because there was a lot of mental stuff going on, a lot of emotional stuff going on. My stepdad had passed away from liver cancer. I had things going on with my daughters at the time that I had to get straight, with their mom, and things worked out for the better eventually. But those 2 years, that was the rough patch for me. So hearing that, in terms of his case, in terms of Aaron, I'm glad is obviously, the biggest drama was just him talking about leaving and the fans going through their little moments of hating and loving all at the same time. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see him. Well, he's in it, just like it's weird that it follows what Favre did, the same team. Like it's just kind of strange the way that happened to work, for sure.
It's so weird how it follows. So from last week's episode, I'll say I've been super busy, obviously with work, with school wrapping up here in the next couple of weeks, but really just chilled out again on the weekend. Didn't do much. I think what did I do? I think I took a couple naps here and there. Watch some basketball. Hey, the NBA playoffs look good. I mean, it's fun. Sure. You got John Morant. You got the drama there where he hurt his hand and now he's back. They're on the wire. I think they lost the last couple, but they could still in it. They're still playing good against them. And LeBron. I mean, they're playing against LeBron and his crew. And LeBron is, setting records, doing some historical things. I'll say, to add to his career. So that's been interesting. So I say doing that, and what's up, BR Facial? Welcome to the chat. How you doing? Who else is in here? Trying to think anybody else, or see if anybody. I think that's it. So what about yourself, John?
Well, I mean, you mentioned the NBA playoffs. That's something I'm trying to tune in every night. And now that the playoffs are here, BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs.
Nice walk into that read. I like it.
You're going to find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. And as your continued source for all sports wagering information, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. It's always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events. So head to betonline.ag and receive your 50% welcome bonus when you join with your first deposit. And make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE. Now that's spelled BLEAV to receive your rewards. BetOnline, where the game starts. But no, NBA playoffs and just my daughter also, she requested Minecraft, latest download. I was like, okay, all the kids Minecraft. So I downloaded that, and she's slowly kind of just dipping her toes into that right now.
Yeah, it's a builder, obviously, where you actually build out whatever you want. I know me and my niece years ago, when she was probably she's a teenager now. She was preteen age, and I came down to visit, and we played Minecraft, and we ended up building like a pool, an indoor-outdoor pool, and a house connected to it or something like that. And then she took me through the rest of the game. to show me all the little areas that you could travel to and all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's what she loved. I mean, they love just creating, right? A lot of these games, especially younger kids, they just want to create a character. They want to create a world. They want to get, hands on and push
That's
buttons.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what kids want to do. That's what kids want to do. So, hey, let's get on to bringing in our special guest here. Let me get around and get stuff going. So we got our guy, man. He is a content creator. He's basically part of the same team I'm with here. Team Xcluded. So I like to bring in my man LinezfadeD. Welcome to the stream. You get him off mute as well.
Oh, wow.
How you doing, Linez?
Hey, how are you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the stream. So we're live here on Twitch, Ahman Green TV, and on YouTube, Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. So, man, I know I put out the request to Joey. So Joey is the CEO. We had him on the show here a few months ago. And I put that request out to him. He's been helping me get, who I can from my Team Xcluded family, basically. And he sent me a message, hey, Linez, and wants to jump on. I'm like, bet. I've seen his stream. I've seen him stream. He has a good time. And I know you play. You're a Warzone guy.
I am.
You
I
like
am
that?
Warzone.
Yeah. So let's get into this conversation. So I say the first question I usually ask my guests, and it's a gamer question, obviously, because it being a gamer lounge, gamer show, is what is your origin story of gaming?
So my origin story is back in the late 90s, early 2000s. My brother is 10 years older than I am, and so he was on like the PS1 playing NCAA like 99 or whatever it was. And that's what we started on, is we were playing NCAA games and doing all of these different, you had your career modes or franchise mode and all of those things. And so my brother would create the college that he went to, Bethel, and we would make all of the whole team and all of the stuff that was there, or we made it out of whatever the high schools were around here. And we played football. And I'm pretty sure that for the first, 2 years of me thinking I was playing, he had the controller unhooked and acting like I was doing something, but I never was.
I think we all do that to the kids under 10. Yeah.
So, I remember the first time that me and him, like, I won a game. Like he acted like he let me do it. He probably did. But that's what got me started in video games. I never really played shooters until deployment. It really wasn't my thing. And then, I went on deployment and we played Destiny 1, the first Destiny. We put
I remember that
hours into Destiny, all deployment. Yes. And so we did all of those things. And whenever we weren't on mission, that's what we were doing. And so came home and still played Destiny all the time. And then Warzone 1 came out and I was hooked. I was in it on Warzone 1.
What was it about Warzone that got you hooked?
COVID. We were in COVID and my buddies were playing it, and that was the only way we were talking to each other. So like that's what we did. We played Warzone. And that's what everyone talks about, this nostalgia of Warzone 1 and how great Verdansk was and all of this stuff. I remember playing Verdansk and it was good, but it wasn't as good as we're making it out to be. But we had the best time during COVID being there with our friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that was a huge ordeal. It was like we didn't have that opportunity to go out and do anything. And so we did it off of a video game where we made memories and we learned how to play a certain way. Like I remember starting out, I would sit in a house and I would do all of the things that I get mad at people for doing now. And then I finally learned how to like push people. And then I learned how to snipe. And then I learned how to do this. And it's like, oh, you got movement now. And then they came out with Warzone 2 and they took away that movement that we had all took years to learn how to do. And they taken away these, super fast one-shot snipers. They're back now. And it's a good time. I'm having fun with it again. But we went through a really like dark zone with Warzone 2 through season 1 and season 2 to where it wasn't that fun.
Right.
And so the things with Warzone 1 were honestly just the there was the nostalgia of being with your friends and nobody having to go to work and nobody having to do X, Y, and Z, and we just got to play video games and we got to be kids.
Yeah, and we missed that. We missed
Got
that.
to be kids. Is that what you said?
Got to be kids.
Yeah.
Got to be kids. I mean, we just got to have fun all day long. There was no responsibility because, you know, they did whatever they, you know, all of the, what was it? They like housing was taken care of for most people. Like there was forgiveness for all of those things and, and all that stuff. You know, a lot of people didn't get to work for a really long time. I was a stay-at-home dad, so it didn't affect me. My my ex-wife is she was a pharmacist, so I got to be a father. I got to do all of the things for my daughter's younger years, and so I nothing changed for me except I didn't leave the house any. But like being at home and being able just to do what we did back in high school. That's what it was like. It was like being in high school all over again, where you're just hanging out with the friends all day long. I remember I don't remember going to bed before 2 a.m. hardly ever.
Oh man, that's a
Isn't that crazy how that time period now is going to be looked upon? I mean, obviously there's a lot of different angles from 2020 era, but man, one of the things is going to be the way we got to reconnect with people.
We got to be, but we got to do it in a different way too. Now we got to, we got sent in, I think what would have taken another 5 to 10 years to become with the telehealth stuff with, you know, Zoom meetings, people being able to do all of these things. A podcast like we're doing right now, like I feel like we got thrown 5 to 10 years in advance because we had to figure it out in a moment, because there was no the world didn't stop turning just because we had this horrendous virus that was affecting a lot of people, that was you know, that struck fear into a lot of people, me included. I never wanted to have COVID. I finally got it last year for the first time.
Me too.
But I remember like the absolute fear that I had of being like, oh man, like I don't want to have a lung infection that put me on my butt for 5 to 10 days and lose my sense of taste and smell, and what's long-term effect. Like I didn't want to do any of that. So like I remember being like this absolute fear, and I got OCD from it for like, I can't touch a bag that I bring in from the store without like washing my hands immediately.
Yeah, we picked up a lot of those ticks.
A lot of these like super nervous, like, okay, you got to be like super clean with this, got to do this, got to do that. And like, I remember just being beforehand, having no care in the world for a lot of things. Like, yes, I wash my hands. I'm not a nasty human, but like to the extent of being like, I have to do this repeatedly throughout the day, every single day, or I'm going to get sick.
All right.
And I remember just like what I think you were saying, like, we're going to remember this time of being able to reconnect with people. And like, COVID was horrendous. Let's not sugarcoat that. But at the same time, it's something that I'm going to always look back on and be like, it was the best thing for me in that moment, because I had to slow down. I had to take that step back and go, wait a minute. There's more important things than just running around town constantly. There's more important things than doing X, Y, and Z. It put a lot of things in perspective for me.
You know what? I wouldn't mind every 5 to 10 years, we do that again.
Oh,
I'm not even like, I'm not
just without the virus side of it.
Just without the virus side of it. I don't want anybody to ever get sick. Like I hate that for everyone. But like, put me in lockdown for like a week or 2 weeks every few years, and let me just
it's a reset, man. It's a reset for a lot of people.
Let me just feel. It's hard to say normal because it was such an abnormal situation in that moment. But it became such a normal thing. And for me and my brain, which we'll get into later, I'm sure, is that like I didn't have the my mentality wasn't there anymore. Like I wasn't able to focus on anything, but I had to sit there and go, just that one breath out, like, hey,
Yeah.
breathe, you're good. And that was so important for me.
Right. So it sounds like that's probably when you started streaming. If you got into Warzone heavy, so
yes,
so basically, tell us that story. So COVID hits, you get into Warzone, and then when's the streaming start up?
And then I watch a Nick Merckx video on how to get better at Warzone and learn how to do things, because Nick was running lobbies all the time in Warzone.
I watch him. He's one of my favorites. I watch.
Yeah, I love Nick and Tim, and just like seeing their banter back and forth. And I remember I watched the video of him, and I go, I could do that. It ain't that hard. The streaming is the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. But I watched a video of him, and I remember talking to my ex-wife.
Stress level is high. It can get a little
so high. And the reason isn't, for somebody who does it full time. So I am a full-time creator. I don't have a regular job. I'm retired from the military, and I'm a full-time content creator. This is what I do for a living. So it's one of those things where like there's the stress of like, am I doing enough? Am I being everything that I need to be? Am I doing all of the things that everyone needs from me in every moment? Now, that's a thing on me, because nobody in my community, at least, that like they don't rely on me for X, Y, and Z, even though I think in my head that I'm relied on for all of these things. And I put a lot of stress on myself to be like, hey, you have to go live today. Everyone expects you to be there. Be there.
Right.
Be there. And whenever these cameras and lights are on, you better act right. And that's one of my big things is like, camera and lights, come on. It's time to be for serious. You're funny. You're entertaining. You're gonna dance in a chair. You're gonna have a good time.
I've seen you do that.
And we're gonna party for 2 to 5 hours. I now have like a 2-hour minimum where I'm like, we have to at least make it 2 hours, because I went through a stage where I didn't stream hardly any. And so it's like, we're at least going on for 2 hours, and we're going to have fun, and you're going to be energetic, and you're not going to be boring, because if you don't want to watch you, nobody else does.
Right. You got to have that mindset. Yep,
and so streaming was just one of those things where it, like, I remember talking to my ex-wife after watching the video. I was like, I want to do this. And she was like, I support you. She says, what do you need? I said, a PC. And she goes, do you really need a PC? And I was like, yep. You don't. For anyone listening, you don't need a PC. I just wanted one. And
you got the honest part out. Hey, I just want a PC.
I just wanted one. I was like, I need that. And she goes, go and buy one tomorrow. And I'll never forget that having somebody where at the time we were in such a good place. Obviously, that did not progress in the way that, whatever. Yeah. But like, I had somebody that supported me wholeheartedly and said, go do it, chase your dream. And I'll never forget what that did for me. And I think that was one of the big things for me that sit there and put me into a different mindset, because I found success early. I found success faster than a lot of people do. As far as with content that I had put out and things like that. I had a video. It was like my 3rd or 4th TikTok I ever posted. It went for 1.2 mil. And I was like, we can do this.
There you go. What'd you do in the video?
I met my gaming partner. I met my duo. I was like, whenever you've played with somebody for 6 months and you finally meet them, and it was like me and him hugging each other. And that was it. And everyone was like, oh my God, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
That's your guy.
Like,
that's the person.
And that's like the whole, that started off this whole thing. And then I tried to get into clips, and clips weren't really my thing. And then I went into skits, and skits are more my thing, because I can do funnier
things. The skits. Yeah,
I do more skits than anything. That's my little niche. I can relate a sound to streaming and make it funny, make it pull at your heartstrings, make it do whatever I want it to do. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. Consistency is a really big thing for me. And so like
I'm for streaming.
And consistent numbers, and a lot of people are so worried about numbers, and I know that I'm gonna now say like consistent numbers are huge for me, but I sit there and I would rather have all of my videos have 1,000 views than have one video have 10,000, because if I have 1,000 people that watch a video every single time that I post it, then I have 2,000 eyes looking at me every single time that I go and do something. And so that's 2,000 eyes that can come and see me play a video game, do whatever I'm going to do for that next stream.
Gotcha. So that leads me to the next question. So what's your favorite part? You kind of talked about it a little bit. Your favorite part about being a content creator and streaming?
My absolute favorite part is building a community, having these people that support you and love you no matter what you're going through. Whenever a lot of the things hit last month and you know, life got real hard, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I had the most consistent 1-hour streams you've ever seen in your life. I mean, people are there and they were supporting me, and they were like, we love you and we're here for you. Do your thing. And I'll never forget that. I'll never have the words to ever be into what that meant to me, to know that people love and support me and have my back even whenever I don't have my own back, almost.
Right. Yeah, I think that's huge. Having a community, you know, having those moments. I mean, you're having those moments where you're letting down your guard to people.
I cried like a baby like a week ago on stream. I finally broke down and I said, hey, this is what happened. And they were like, oh shit, like we didn't know you were going through that. Sorry if I'm not supposed to cuss.
No, it's okay. No, you good. We grown folk in here. If it comes out, it's all right. It's not, you know, intentional. I already know that. But no, it's what you're, and that leads me to what we were talking about, you know, off stream. You know, what have been the bumps in the road in your journey to where you are now? Because we're talking about it before we went live, you know, and I think a lot of people need to have this conversation. It's about mental health, how you deal with it. Because if you don't deal with it, it'll deal with you. Basically.
Oh, 100%. You can push it down, but at some point it's going to rear its ugly head and it's going to be a thing. So one of the biggest bumps, obviously, was I went from being married to being separated into where I'm at now. So I had a house, I had a dedicated stream room, I had all of these things, and we had built it up, and it was this big thing. I had all of this stuff, and it was all gone in an instant. Out. I was finding an apartment, and I was having to figure out a place that I can be at, that I can do my job that I have been doing since 2021 and trying to continue doing it. And so I'm like, oh snap, where are we going to go? And so I went into an apartment and I was like, hey, I need an apartment that doesn't butt up against somebody. And they were like, why? I was like, don't worry about it. I just need an apartment that doesn't butt up against somebody. And they're like, okay, well, I have this second floor. And I'm like, where's going to be the best place to put this? And so I'm like, my daughter's not going to have a room. And it was like one of those things where I was like, well, what am I going to do about her bed? And so I just made her bedroom my stream room. I pushed all my stuff into a corner and I said, we're going to be here. And this is what we're going to do. And one day, I'll have my stream room back, and one day I will do all of the things that I used to do, and that's the goal. That is the end goal, is to be able to be reliant on myself like I've not had to be in 6 years. And so that was a huge bump in the road. And then whenever you think about, you know, I thought that I was doing so much better. Things were going really good. I was able to stream. I was doing 8-10 hours every single day, and everything was fine at home.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And then I'm on my own. And me and one of my buddies did the math the other day. So since I was 18, I lived at home, obviously, whenever I was here. And then I lived in the barracks whenever I was in basic. I came home. I lived with my ex-girlfriend. I moved in with my best friend for a little bit. I lived with my daughter's mom, and then went back to living with my best friend. And then I went, and me and my wife lived together. And so I have never been on my own until October of 2022. I have never been in my own place. I've never been in quiet. I've never been in all of that again. And demons are loud. And and whenever you can hear certain things or do certain things, whenever you're alone, that's hard. You know,
is.
I mean,
It's reality.
it's, you know, everything
Mhm.
gets quiet and then I can go, ooh, that happened. You know,
Yeah.
like X,
Yeah.
Y, and
A thought,
Z.
thought runs through your mind
Yeah.
that happened yesterday or 10 years
Uh-huh.
ago, and you're
Yep.
like, I could have did better.
I could have did
You
better.
say that
You
to
know what I
yourself.
did the
Yep.
other day? So,
Yeah.
do you know the movie The Express, the Ernie Davis story?
Yes. Yep.
So whenever I had my initial panic attack, that was the movie that I watched to calm down. I watched a movie. I was trying to like breathe through it and just sit there because I couldn't do it, right? Like I couldn't
Right.
sit and focus. And so I was like, we're gonna watch a football movie. That's what we're gonna do. The Express popped up on my TikTok the other day, and I sit there and I stopped dead in my tracks and I went, oh no. Because I was like, immediately, I'm gonna have another panic attack. Like this is happening and I can't stop this. And
Right.
so I sit there and I was like, I remember just sitting there and going, please don't do this. Like, not today. Not today. You've had all of this work that you've done all month. For this to be the thing that messes you up is a TikTok video of a movie that you watched. And I'm like, this is stupid. And so like the bumps in the road for me are obviously like they're my mental health. They are what I struggle with to feel like I'm enough, for one. Are you enough for everyone? Are you these things that you practice what you preach? Are you
Right.
I go out there and I tell people, I'm like, hey, you should do X, Y, and Z. Do I do that all the time? Am I showing people through what I have accomplished and things like that, mental health wise, to like things that I've overcome? Like, have I done this to be good enough for everyone else? And like it's a daily struggle for me. But like I was telling you before we started, my biggest thing is that one breath out, lights come on, cameras on, let's go serious mode. It's time to entertain. It's time to do X, Y, and Z. You got to be
Right.
mission focused in a way almost. And I think that a lot of that comes back to the military. And I've talked to friends about it because my daughter a week ago, 2 weeks, no, it was probably the beginning of April at this point, fell at recess. And whenever I picked her up from school, she was holding her arm funny. And I was like, hey, what's wrong with you, baby? And she goes, I fell and my arm hurts really bad. And so we thought that it was broken. And I remember in that moment, my mind going to complete calmness in the chaos of trying to figure out everything that's going on. And that's one thing with the training that I've done in my life and different things like that, is the calmness and chaos is so easy for me. But it's that moment whenever there's no danger around me that I freak out. And so that's one of the things being here. Everything's safe. I am in a very, very nice apartment. I am in a very, very nice stream room that we've done a lot of really cool things in. And I've had my buddies come and help me build this thing and do all of this. And at that, even with all of the things, it scares me sometimes. And so those are my bumps in the road. It's getting out of my own way to have that, to get to that next level.
Right. And some of that is the hard part about that sometimes is where people don't realize that. They don't pay attention to that. They don't see the red flags and you ignore them. You fly right past them. And then you find out what the hell just happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you were paying attention about 3 days ago or 2 miles back, you would have saw this flag to let you know that you're about to derail, that you're about to go off the path.
If we had my initial panic attack, if I would have paid any sort of attention, I would have known that it was coming, because I had a lot of things go wrong for like 2 weeks beforehand. I was like, man, something just ain't right. And I remember sitting there and going, I probably shouldn't do this tonight, and did it anyways. And as soon as it happened, I immediately freaked out. And I remember just like going through all of this stuff and being like, nah, you shouldn't, like, it's unnecessary. Right. You've had a couple beers, like don't do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, I remember just being like a giant freak out moment in the house and not being able to calm. I ran around the entire downstairs of my house for like 20 minutes. And I was like, my heart feels like it's gonna explode. Like
Come out your
something is
chest.
wrong. And
Right.
I remember going, I'm gonna go upstairs and sit in a bath. And I sat in a bath with my hands under me because my hands were cold, but the rest of me was hot. And I remember I'm just gonna sit here. And I sat there for maybe 37 seconds and like freaked out more. And I was like, all right, we gotta get up, we gotta go,
Right.
like something's wrong. And um my ex was like, hey, like you're good. And I was like, no, I'm not. Something's wrong. This ain't right.
Right.
And it was just like a huge, huge ordeal. And I went to bed, woke up the next morning. She goes, well, you woke up again. She was like, so you good? And I laid on my couch for 5 days before I ever went to the hospital.
You said 5 days?
5 days laid on the couch, didn't move, didn't drink,
Right.
didn't eat, didn't do nothing. I was at 260 pounds at the date, or like 250 on the day that it initially happened. And whenever I went
Right.
to the doctor that 5 days later, it was at 234. And so I lost all of this weight already, and it just
Right.
kept going away. It kept going away because I wasn't eating, I wasn't doing anything. I was afraid to move. I was afraid to do anything. It was a giant, just like what just happened. My initial panic attack was done from a massive hormone imbalance.
Gotcha.
And so I had raised my testosterone to a point that it was just absolutely wild. I went to the doctors a week beforehand. I had test levels of like 100 or not 100, 1,000, like 1,200, somewhere around there, like real good levels. I
Right.
went to the doctor. I did my initial at the walk-in clinic, and then they sent me to my primary. I saw my primary like the next Monday. So 7 days later, it was at 40, and I'd completely bottomed out. It was just a bad time, and so there's a lot of, I know what caused it, and so I know whenever people want to talk about those things that I know that I did, like I tell them no.
Right. Yeah, man, that's a tough. Thank you for sharing that story. I know that was probably tough, but also healing at the same time. So to finish the conversation here, what's going down the line? Are you just living one moment at a time, or do you have any things that you planned out for the next few months for yourself with your streaming and what you're doing in life right now?
Honestly, we're just going one moment at a time. Like obviously,
Right.
like you have the things that you want to do, like those big accomplishments. I want to become verified on
Right.
Kick. I want to hit Twitch partner. I want to do all of these things and create the best content and build a absolutely amazing community. But I want to enjoy every moment that it takes to get there, and it not be something that I look past and go, I did it.
Right.
Like I want to have every moment. I want to be happy in every moment and feel like we've done, something, changed lives somehow. My goal every single day is to make one person smile. If I make one person smile, then I've done my job as a creator.
I like that.
And
I like that.
so if that's through a TikTok video, if that's through saying something outlandish on stream, then that's that's the way that it's gonna be, and I'm okay with it.
You got to be. Yep.
I remember it's just one of those things that if you don't enjoy every moment, then what was it even worth it in the end?
Yeah.
Like
That's huge.
if you're not having
Yeah.
fun while it's happening, but you're only gonna have fun whenever you're successful, you'll never have fun while you're successful. And everyone has a different way of measuring their success. I mean,
Right.
like, I think that I'm a very successful person in the content creation world at my average of 25 to 30 people. I think that that's extremely successive in this space. But a lot of people are like, oh, you don't have You're not verified. You're not part of it."
Right.
I'm like, "No, I'm not, and I don't care to be. I have a community that loves me. Every single day they love me to death, and they do all of these things
Mm-hmm.
that absolutely blow my mind. And we get to do the funnest stuff every single day. I get to play video games with my best friends and do everything that every teacher told me I was never going to do. You're never going to accomplish anything playing those games.
We all heard those. We heard that. We all
Yeah.
heard that. Yeah. So yeah, to wrap it up, we got one more question for you. You hit on something right there and then, and I was like, let me ask this question for you. And it's from you. It's if someone wants to get in that line of work, knowing what is in front of them and being a streamer, what's some advice for them that you would give them to be, I say, just to be decent, I say good, successful, whatever they define that as.
Okay. Be unapologetically yourself every single day, because if you fake it until you make it, somebody's going to be able to call you out on that you're fake. Be you, because there's only
100%.
one of you. There's only one Linezfaded. There's only one Ahman Jon.
Yep.
You know,
only
like
John
that.
Audius.
Yes. I couldn't say his last name correctly.
That's
I felt really bad about it.
You say it's Audius. Yeah. Yeah. It's all
if
good,
you
bro.
are not being yourself and you're not having and have fun, please have fun. Because if you aren't playing video games to have fun and you're only in it for the money, then you don't need to be in this space.
Right.
This isn't it. You're not made for this. But if you come out here and you're unapologetically yourself and you have fun every single day, then you're going to be so set whenever it comes to this, because it's a blast. It's so much fun to be able to do all of these things and not, you know, work a regular 9 to 5. For me, I mean, so obviously mine's different in that sense, is that I'm medically retired from the military, and so I have that, and then I have, you know, streaming and stuff like that, and I am extremely blessed in that I don't have to work a 9 to 5 currently. If it ever came down to it, then obviously I would, but like I get to have fun every day.
Yeah.
I get to be a kid. Like what's better than getting on COD and playing with the boys? What's better than getting, you know, we play some Faz, we do Fall Guys, we do Among Us. What's better than getting to get on and just laugh?
100%.
You're just laughing.
You're right.
You're just at peace with everything in those moments, because the demons are loud when you're quiet.
They always knocking.
They're always ready. The moment that these lights come off, they're always ready to say something. For me, at least. For the moments that we're not involved in like loud things going on around me, or, you know, a TV playing something in the background, or something, you know, my daughter laughing. Like, whenever those things aren't here and it's quiet, that's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And so everyone needs to be unapologetically themselves every single day and be the best you that you can be, and you'll be successful every single day of your life.
There you go. So Linez, do you have enough time to hang on for one more segment, or you think you got to run out? Because I know you say you had to go grab
No, I'm good right now. I've actually this has been really good for me.
Okay,
so
good.
I'm having fun getting to talk to you guys.
Nice. So we about to have some more fun. So we're about to go into another segment here called This or That. So I'm gonna find the audio here. It's around here somewhere. Here we go. Let me click that.
This or that.
So this or that, Linez, and everybody new to the chat. It's a fun little game me and John have been doing for years. I'm gonna put all the graphics up, and John, I'll take it off. I'll hand it off to you, buddy.
All right. Hey, just a reminder, if you want one of your this or that suggestions in the podcast, it's really simple. Go to our Discord, go to our social media, and just say, hey, what about this for this or that? And you could make it on the podcast. I think these are all from the mind of Ahman Green, though. Is this correct,
Yeah.
Ahman?
Yeah, this is me. It's all me. And I threw a couple in there for lines to help him to some of the things that he does on a daily on his stream. I was like I said, did some homework on him. So
okay. All right, here we go.
All right.
First, this or that. Loud neighbors or nosy neighbors?
Ooh.
Loud neighbors are nosy.
Nosy. I'm gonna go first if you guys don't mind. I'm gonna
Go ahead, John.
I'm gonna go loud because if they're loud, I'm assuming that they really don't care. Wow, I don't know. You want to be friends with your neighbors too. I was gonna say they don't care about you and they're not gonna be all up in your business. I'd rather be someone just away from. If they're gonna be like all up in my business and I don't want them to be, I'd rather like not have a relationship with them. Just be the loud neighbors.
Right.
I think I have to go with loud too. I mean, my neighbors are loud anyways. They sound like a pack of elephants walking upstairs. So,
oh man!
But if they were in my business, it would be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm with y'all there. Loud neighbors. Yeah, because I don't like people up in my business.
And I'm loud too. So like,
yeah, being loud.
How annoying that would be if you had a neighbor always coming over. What you doing?
What you doing over there?
Hey, I saw so-and-so over at your house the other day. What was going on? Like,
who was that person leaving your house the other day? That's not any of your business. Hang on.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's unanimous there. Loud neighbors.
Loud.
Even the bearded patriot 5150, he's also along with us there. He said instead of them poking into my business, so no nosy neighbors.
Yeah,
we'll take the loud ones that's bumping the music or whatever they're doing over there. So, all right, next one on the list, John.
Okay, next, this or that, vacation or staycation.
Staycation, 100%.
100%.
Why are we gonna leave the house? What are we talking about? I actually posted a TikTok about that yesterday. They were like, we should go out and do this. And I was like, it was to this like Young Sheldon sounder, just something like that. And he was like, why should we leave our comfort zone? It's called a comfort zone for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we were all partaking in staycation, as you brought up during COVID that time. I know we did a few even before and after COVID. Staycation is my jam because you got the area you're kind of in control of. The house, absolutely. You know what's going on. You go outside when you want. What's that?
I said I miss the beach, but like I still would just prefer to be at home. The beach is fun for a solid day, and then I'm like,
Okay, can I do a hybrid of this? Because I understand the benefits of a staycation, but I think some of the cons of a staycation is, at least for me, like you better have a little bit of a plan or I'm just going to feel like I wasted my vacation days. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like I had all this comfortable, less stress staycation, but I didn't do anything. And then afterward, I'd be like, well, now I got to wait a year till I do something. So I'm going to go vacation.
Okay.
I agree with that though. I mean, that does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know. Because after COVID, me and my wife, we were definitely hitting a travel scene. I think last summer, we went to Hawaii for our anniversary. When the summer before that, we were sitting in the house, doing our staycation anniversary style. So,
but I'll say this: how about this with the hybrid staycation? Like, I don't want to go too crazy, but because I do enjoy the benefit of not doing anything. Right? That's the point of a staycation.
True.
How about like every day you pick something that you haven't done within your area? You know what I mean? Like maybe it's go to the local park, like the local state park. One day. Check out something you haven't gone and done or experienced that's within your community or somewhere close by. That way, like you get the benefits of like doing something you haven't done, but at the same time, then coming home and keeping it low key.
Yep. Absolutely. No, actually, I really like that. Yeah. It's one of those things because especially like in the Tennessee area, we have all these like hiking trails and stuff around me.
Yeah.
And like getting to go and do like a hike is so peaceful and nice. Like that's perfect.
Yeah.
I like
now I'm excited. Version. Now I want to take a staycation. Go do these things that I haven't done in a while.
Next one on the list, along with that staycation, here we go. We could have some food like this.
Okay, what are you doing, Ahman? This is like the hardest question of all time: pizza or tacos?
I'll make y'all really sad. I don't eat either of them. My pizzas are gluten-free, dairy-free, and meatless. They ain't good.
Me too. Hey, we share
Do you
the
eat
same thing.
do
Yes,
you
What
eat
do you
the
put on
Daniel
for
ones?
cheese? How do you get cheese on a pizza that's
It's
dairy?
vegan cheese.
it's vegan cheese.
Oh, does it
Oh,
taste
yeah.
like cheese?
Not really.
Nah.
What
Yeah.
is vegan cheese? What is that? What is that made out of? I have no clue.
I don't know.
Uh,
I know it's
It's
dairy
like
free.
flaxseed oil. I know flaxseed
Yeah.
oil is in there, and some other items.
Yeah, I don't really know what's in it. I just know that it doesn't make my stomach hurt, to be 100% honest with you.
Boom.
Yes, I agree. I'm no more stuff belly aches because I'm lactose and too much cheese
Yeah.
does me in. Do me in.
But like pizza, and then I do so on my tacos. I do like jackfruit tacos, and they're really
Ooh.
good.
Ooh,
They're really good.
jackfruit. I can't find that in the Midwest here. We got.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah,
I
so
haven't
that's
seen no
what most of
jackfruit
my
anywhere.
replacement stuff is. So whenever, because I don't eat red meat and things like that, I eat a lot of like jackfruit stuff.
Yep.
And it has like that consistency and texture that is good.
Oh,
Good
so
for
That's
me.
what I heard. I
jackfruit
heard
is your
that's the
meat
best.
substitute?
Yeah, it basically has a meat substitute. I've heard
I think
that about
it's kind of like cauliflower. It soaks in the
Yeah.
flavor of whatever you cook it in.
So let me ask you this. So
Really
when
well.
you're making these tacos, are you like it's jackfruit is the meat and then you do the normal, well, if you do seasoning.
Yeah, everything else is pretty normal.
Okay.
Usually for tacos and stuff, I actually go to a place. We have a place called Misfit Tacos, and so they do a substitute. And so
Nice.
like I don't make them at home just because I don't trust myself to actually like cook it.
Are you gonna put too much salt in that thing? Too much sodium, or
something would go wrong. It wouldn't taste right.
Right.
So like if I'm cooking things at like home, it's usually like a crock pot meal that I can eat on for like a week. But yeah, so like tacos I get over there, and I might have to go with tacos on this one because I do like the tacos more than the vegan pizza most of the time.
Yeah, I would say tacos is probably for me too. I'm a taco guy, and having the alternatives is great because I had a sweet potato taco last week.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I started eating a lot of sweet potatoes now.
Yeah, sweet potato taco
sweet potatoes.
Had black beans, had onions, sweet potatoes, and I think had they were kind of crispy too, so it tastes really good. Nice little sauce on top of it, some salsa. So yeah,
dang, that sounds good
all day.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to try that one.
Yep,
sweet potato tacos.
Yep, put it on the list. All right, these last two are for you, Lines.
All right, let's do it.
All right, did my homework on you. Here we go.
Someone has to help me with the pronunciation of this.
Phasmophobia or demonologist?
Thank you. Can we explain what that means?
So they're ghost hunter games is what they are. Right. So I play them as like my let's decompress and have fun.
Okay.
They both have the same principle. Demonologist is newer. But
that's what it looked like to me. I was like, it looks like the same. Okay.
It's the exact same game, except I can't figure out how to escape the hunt in Demonologist, so I die every time. So I'm gonna go with Phaz because this is nonsense.
Yeah. I'm about to play those with you one night.
But Demonologist has way better graphics in it, I think. Okay. But like Phaz is a super fun, relaxed game if you like little jump scares, like little fun,
right? Yeah.
You know,
like
good time
Evil.
having. Yes, it's such a good time. So I gotta go with Phaz, but I do enjoy it because you can play the same map over and over again. You're not gonna get the same ghost, and the ghost isn't going to spawn in the same place, and the ghost isn't going to do all of the same things, and so it's a fun time for me.
Ooh. I've heard of Phasmophobia, but hadn't heard of Demonologist. I was like, huh?
Yeah. Demonologist just came out. It was
okay.
Gotcha. I played it in beta for a little bit, and then I played it as the full release game.
Got it.
And it was like 2 weeks ago, I think.
So I'm gonna have to go with Phasmophobia because you're not the only one of my friends that play that game and enjoy it, have a good time. I'm a horror game. I'm a horror movie connoisseur.
Are you like real horror movie ones? Yes. Or like Scream?
No, I'm talking about
because I'm like a Scream guy because the moment that they write based on true events, I say absolutely not.
You out. See, I got past that when I was a little kid, and I'll tell you how.
Next to your ears and in The Conjuring, it does you in. I'm just
yeah, and they clap right. You do the clap, and they clap. Somebody else clap. You like, wait, where'd that come from? But no, I got that out of my system when I was about 10, and my mom and I and dad were watching this movie called Communion with Christopher Walken. Old
Oh,
school
okay.
gangsta
Okay.
actor, great
Yeah.
actor, great actor. And it was an 80s movie. And I'm sitting there watching the movie, and it was an alien abduction movie. Okay.
Mhm.
And so it's a story of a guy who gets abducted several times at his cabin up in the forest where his families go do like a getaway. And at the end of the movie, I get up and I ask my mom and dad, I'm like, did that really happen? Yeah. And then my dad said, look at the screen. It says, based on true events. And I was like, oh.
Nope.
I'm like, what? And I wasn't right for like a week. I wasn't right for a week. So that got me to this where I'm at now, where I can watch anything and I don't get rattled in watching horror or sci-fi horror, whatever, blood, gore. That got me. I was like in my head thinking I was gonna get abducted for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember being it wasn't a good one for me. And
yeah,
then,
it
what
wasn't
was
a good
it?
one for a lot of people.
Was it the It wasn't Slender Man. It was a Stephen King movie, and it's like I see dead people.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah, no, I remember that one.
Classic.
That got me, but like still a classic movie, super good. And then my dad used to watch this one called Red Rose or something. Rose Red, is that what it was? It was a book that then they made into a movie.
Oh, The Shining?
About like no, I think it was called like Rose Red or something like. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
By the way, were you talking about room
attic?
1408?
Yeah, with Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah,
he plays the hotel.
Yeah, he's in that. Yeah,
it's another Stephen King movie, and it's called Rose Red.
Yeah,
and it came out in like 2002.
I haven't.
No.
Oh yeah, it's fake. I only seen it once, but I know you're talking about.
I haven't watched that.
Not a fan of that one either. But my dad also, I was like 7, and he's like, "Hey, do this." I'm like, "No, I don't want to watch this again. Like, stop it."
Oh man, yep. All right, here, last one of the list, and it's a fun one here. Here we go.
Oh, Fall Guys or Among Us? What do you think?
I like Among Us better, but it makes you question all of your friends' loyalty to you.
100%.
Because everyone's a liar, and I'm always getting stabbed in the back, and it's ridiculous. Somehow I'm always the one they go for too. Every time I'm like, they got my back, because if I'm the killer, I'm like, they got my back. It's Nate. Nope. He throws me right under the bus. It was Linez. He did it. I watched him cut her face off. I'm like, wait a minute. No, you didn't. How am I supposed to go against him now? You want me to call my friend a liar?
Man. That is a true statement. You find out who really trusts you. You find out really. Man, I played that game with. Go ahead, John. You got it.
I was going to say, and then you get to watch them like lie if they kill you.
The whole time.
Just lie to everybody.
Like,
like,
I
no.
would never touch him like that. And it's like, yes, you would. You did it.
You just did it.
Did
it. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I've been betrayed with a group of friends, and I was just like, really? Like the first 2 games we're playing, and I'm definitely not. I know I'm not the killer, but every time I was the first voted off, kicked me off into space.
Were you streaming at the time? Because usually that's how it goes for me.
I wish I was streaming it.
They're like,
so I can have a record of it.
Yeah,
and be like, look what y'all did. Like, y'all don't trust me at all.
Nope. Every single time they come in, it was Linez. I'm like, what do you mean it was me? I was nowhere near. I didn't move. I was
doing my job. I was doing my task. I was fixing electrical. I was in the thing fixing electrical. Back off me.
Yeah, and then the Simon Says one over there on that annoys the ever living heck out of me. Where you gotta get like 5 sequences, or is it like 4 sequences in a row?
Oh, yeah, that's frustrating.
It messes me up every time. I'm always done for on that one.
Yeah, very true. So Linez, man, I appreciate you. I'm not sure if you got a little time, but I think you probably have to go now, correct?
I got like 5 minutes if we got something else you want to talk about.
So we'll let you go here, man.
All right.
So you could go pick up your daughter, man. But I appreciate you coming
I
in.
appreciate you. It was a lot of fun. It was really good getting to talk to y'all. I think this is one of the first times that we've got to like have a deep conversation, and that was super nice. It was really good getting to meet everybody.
Yep. And it was awesome having you on. And like when you said, like before we went live, hey man, is this, what can I say? I'm like, no, this is your platform. This is our platform. We could share, we could talk, whatever. We're grown folks here.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you for that, man. And hope it was helpful. And
it was, honestly. It felt amazing to actually get on here and get to have these conversations, because sometimes it doesn't feel like you can get them out all the time. You know what I mean?
True.
Like sometimes it's like
100%.
me and my buddy were talking about it before I came on, and I was talking to him, and he was like, go and be vulnerable. He was like, talk about everything. Talk about the things that you're afraid to talk about, like for yourself. He was like, be unapologetically yourself, like you tell everyone else to be, and like go out there and whenever they ask what the bumps in the road, say it. Say what happened. And I'm like, okay,
There
here
you
we
go.
go. So
Bam.
it was good, you know.
It was good.
But yeah,
Sounds
no,
good,
it
man.
was a blessing to be on here with you guys, and I appreciate y'all so much.
No problem. You're welcome. Amen. So you have yourself a great rest of your day. And I
Absolutely.
will be checking you out on stream and probably send you a message like, hey, bro, I want some of that demonology or that.
Yeah, let's run up some Faz. I need you to download Warzone 2.
I have that already, so I'm
all
good
right,
there.
well, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to run that up too. Get at it, get some games in. Let's have fun.
That's it.
Stuff.
That's it.
I
man.
appreciate you, brother.
All right, Linez, man. Peace out.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya. All right. So, John,
Yeah.
I know you got to get ready to go real soon. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna hand it to you. What do you want to do next, bro?
Ooh, let's.
You want to do? I know you want to like. I love your conversation. I know you love to talk about the Mandalorian. So you want to go straight there because I know you got.
How about? Yeah, let's go. Well, actually, let's go some. There's some quick hitting news bites I want to get to. Let's do news, Mando, and see where we are.
All right. Let's see the news right now. So let me get that up running, and you can start talking. I'm gonna get the graphics, everything going.
Okay, so there is, I'm sure everyone has seen this viral video of this new game body cam footage. It looks like it looks real. You know what I'm talking about, Ahman?
Yeah, I looked. Actually, it was something I saw last week, and I was almost gonna put on there, but I didn't get a chance to really look over it a whole lot.
Yeah,
but I'm glad you brought it up.
If you want me to, I can share the actual game footage too. But basically, this realistic looking video game trailer hopped on the internet, racked up 70 million views on Twitter. This is according to Axios.com. It's the work of a French indie outfit called Studio Drama. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it looks, Ahman, it looks like it's real life. Like It looks like someone took a camera and made a video game and, had an elaborate set. But the footage is unreal. Here, let me share this footage because when you see this, and for those who, whoops, what am I doing here? Hold on, there he is. Those who haven't seen it, if you're going to watch this on our YouTube channel, it's going to blow your mind. Here, let me find it. I'm on where to go. Hold on, give me 1 second. Here we go. Here we go. Check this out.
All right.
I'll get that. Are you watching?
Shots fired! Shots fired!
This looks real.
Right.
Turn this down a little bit. So it's just a first-person shooter, and I don't know, Ma, when you see these graphics and we start thinking of the future and what's possible with AI and everything coming together at the right. When you look at these, what do you think of when you see this?
I'm thinking this is real, like for real. I mean, it looks like a great, like it could be obviously the game and the way they made it, and they made it look real. If it's a game,
It is. They say it's real. They say this is gameplay. This is what the gameplay. I mean, this is what gameplay. Is it too real? How about that? Because when you see body cam footage and you see realistic people dying, you're like, oh.
I say there's people out there that this might be too real for.
Yeah.
And then there's people out there, they'll say, okay, this is something of a great production that they're making for a video game now. And they're going to this live action stuff because we've reviewed a few games that are just like this, just like live action mystery whodunit stories. Now this is went down to the FPS neighborhood or down the FPS road of video gaming now. Mm-hmm. And now, the only thing that pops through, like one thought runs through my head is like, is this? It could be real. Is this one of those things that could be faking people out, like you've seen on Netflix, a movie where it shows something that it's saying it's a video game or not real when it's actually real people getting shot and killed. Mm-hmm. Just from that's a great movie plot or TV series right there for you. But it has the decision making, kind of like Mass Effect or any decision making game. So. This is I would say very interesting to see that, and very like questionable on what the idea was, because obviously the footage looks good, so the graphics obviously look great if that is a video game, to make it more real than to have the FPS style of gaming in that and make it look as real as it does. I say that's a 10 out of 10 in my book, and it's almost scary that it's so real. Basically.
Unrecord is the name of the game. It's on Steam. It's a single player FPS that tells the story of a tactical police officer from the perspective of his body camera.
Interesting.
Ahman, to me, it almost is too realistic.
Right.
Like, I understand. Yeah. Is that where we're going? And if we're going there, things are going to get weird in like 5 to 10 years. I'm telling you, with this combination of unreal,
things are already weird, man.
Right. With this artificial intelligence is going to be able to react and talk to you and almost appear normal and human. I don't know, man. It looks awesome.
There.
It looks great.
It looks great. Like I said, it looks great, but we're there already. We're there already. All right, let me kick it to my story now. And I'm going down the other aisle. It's a fun one I found on PC, PCgamer.com. And if you read the title there, Halo, this Halo 1 Mario Kart mod is ludicrous as it is impressive.
Yeah.
So somebody made a mod from the Bungie Halo 3 Forge. And now Halo Karts is what it's being called. And the inspiration was behind, obviously, Mario Kart. And the various Halo Karts were built from Halo elements and played on the Halo maps. So now the prophecy is upon us. So Halo Mario Kart mod is out. So you could go online and search Cursed Mario Kart to give it a proper title. It's part of a larger mod called Curse Halo Again, which is a campaign sequel to the multiplayer map pack Cursed Halo. So the Mario Kart campaign is here based on the prior mod, and then Halo Karts are the task of players with winning Mario Kart races with the Warthog, as you see there flipping around there, getting launched, and then somehow still crossing the finish line and landing on 4 wheels. I don't see how that even is real, but it's a mod, so you can do the hell what you want in a mod. And so the Warthogs are against various comedy Halo duels to progress, and then everything mentioned was created by Modder Inferno Plus, Modder Inferno Plus, and the whole overarching project is equal parts bizarre and definitely super amazing. In watching this mod, it's just something. And that was part of the video. Actually, here's the video.
Can you scroll down? There's a YouTube video on that link.
Yeah, let me get that link here.
PCgamer.com, by the way, is where we're watching this.
Yeah. So we can watch this right here. Does that have any sound to it? Oh, yeah, it has a little bit of sound.
Is the Halo Kart Grand Prix that is in the middle of the campaign.
Nice.
It's basically Mario Kart, just in Halo. It is so much
fun. Oh, man.
When you put
that's what I'm talking about.
On.
He broke the shield. He's breaking the shield right now for that covenant.
Into a sniper rifle. It is game
you got sniper rifle on there shooting too? Oh, man.
Instead of me explaining it,
sniper rifle would be interesting in Mario Kart if you're driving and then all of a sudden you can just like zoom in and take out Yoshi or something.
100%. 100%. So knowing Halo 1, you got the Magnum, you got the BR, you got a sniper rifle, you got grenades, sticky grenades, regular grenades, rocket launchers. So this is gonna be interesting. A little buffering right there action, but I thought this was pretty cool. I was like, what? Two of my favorite two games had a baby, and here it is. Halo Wars, Halo Karts. Halo Karts, as you see on the screen right there, as it's buffering and everything. So that was my quick hitting news bite of the week, and I'll just remove it from there since it's thinking about showing more video there.
All good. Let's recap Mando.
Yeah, let's recap Mando so we can get you out of there on time. You can get started. I'll get the screen going here.
So, episode 8. Like, listen, episode 7's kind of set it up, in my opinion. Like, oh my gosh, Grogu in that IG-12 suit's going to come through and kick some butt, and this is going to be crazy. And there was a little bit of that. So, basically, spoiler alert, but episode number 8 is the final of this season's Mandalorian.
Chapter 3. 24.
Mm-hmm. And Ahman pulls up some video where you can watch along with us. So basically, Grogu has to go save Mandalorian, and this is what I've been
Yep.
waiting for. And he comes in the IG-12 suit, and he has the no, just as a Dark Trooper's about to end Mando, and I was like, yes, Grogu's in. Let's go. And Grogu grabs him, but then one of the saddest little scenes is you're watching this, like these guys go after Grogu, and they're like backpedaling him into this room, and you see Grogu like IG-12 kind of flailing around. You're like, no, and Mando's trying to save him. Moff Gideon's like pulling him back, like,
Yeah.
and you start to thinking, oh my gosh, I thought Grogu was going to come in and just start like, firing like IG-11 used to do, but no, it's him being backed in a corner, and then he hops out and he starts hopping around. And this is, hey, for a Grogu lover like me, this is paradise. Episode 8, watching him pull out all these tricks. It was, and then he's using the Force along with Bo-Katan as she comes flying in. Oh man, it was really fun. That was really fun to see Grogu then use the Force to stop these flames after the ship crashes into the base. I know I feel like I'm going all crazy all over the place, but that was so much fun for me to watch.
No, you all good. To see Grogu basically, I say inclined to the next level of being a Jedi. That's what we saw, and we know with superheroes that when they're pushed to the limit, when they're pressured, and they're nervous or anxiety, or their death is on, or life is on the line, and that's where it was. It was him and Grin. Was it? I always forget his name. The Mando's name, actual.
Din Djarin. Din Djarin.
Him and Din Djarin, life was on the line, and so Grogu, without thinking, just reacted. And you saw the Force, you saw the pulls, the grabs, and then obviously the Force bubble to keep the flames off him. I thought it was outstanding too. And just to see where the story now is going, where you saw Moff Gideon, was basically trying to exterminate the rest of the Mandalorians, as we saw from like 2 episodes ago, creating the new stormtroopers with the Beskar metal. You see, and it just shows you more how the Empire is just, when you think they're gone, you think they're defeated, and they're still mulling behind the scenes. They're doing stuff like we saw. I mean, we know the whole story with Lord Sidious and how then he was hiding with Lord Sidious was Palpatine in the Senate. So again, you see, so you got to always, it's just a continual reminder of how well you have to keep an eye on the Empire, because if you don't keep an eye on the Empire, they're going to continue to basically sprout wings and legs and do all that other stuff that they do, and then bam, they back in your face with these, like you said, with these Mandalorian stormtroopers, basically, and the Mandalorian clone stormtroopers of Moff Gideon. So it's a great end to the story. The way that they had, like I said, Grogu, like you mentioned as well, Grogu get his opportunity to kind of shine and show what he can do. All that is good. And then now it's a hurry up and wait for season 4, because we know it's a lot of still story to tell about what's next. They took down Moff Gideon, they took down the troops. Grogu is now on Jedi level, but he's still a little guy. He's always going to be little, but figuratively,
okay, so
he's still there.
I was thinking about this. Eventually, Grogu has to grow up, right? They're not going to spend the entire storyline when he's 50. You know what I mean? So like that, he's got to start walking and talking. And one of the cool things I liked, some people thought was kind of weird, but after, he does the Force, stops the flame, saves Bo-Katan and Mando, and they're walking into somewhere, I don't remember, but you know what I'm talking about? Like, you see his little feet walking.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like a weird little puppet thing, but I loved it. I was like, oh, look at him walk. He's so cute. Even when he walks, he's cute. But they're going to have to figure out, what does he look like when he walks? What is his voice going to sound like? How is he physically going to appear? How are you going to change something that so many people fell in love with? This little baby and the little cooing and the little Force hands. And now you gotta make him older eventually at some point, and he's not going to be the same. And that to me is going to be like, what happened to my little Grogu?
Yeah, when he grows up, Darjin is not he's not going to be able to have that little guy where he just picks him up and puts him in his little side arm.
But then okay, and then can we talk about the season episode 8 closer, where Grogu and Mando, they get a little house.
Yep.
Oh
yeah, right at the end. Yes.
And he's like, using the Force to pick up a frog out of the pond, and Mando's sitting back, relaxing on the front porch, essentially. And then they do that little zoom in with the circle.
Yep, and he
zoom
picked up the frog, right?
Yeah. Yep. But what did you think just about the way it looked with the circle on Mando and Grogu? And then I hadn't really seen that type of transition before. I mean, you have the wipes and stuff in Star Wars. It just seemed like a little different transition to use.
Yeah, I look at it as foreshadowing, that obviously the story's not done.
Right.
And it just shows now that Grogu is ascending, like I said, up with his powers. And
he's going to be a Mandalorian Jedi.
Exactly. And I can't wait to see him in a Mandalorian suit. That's what I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm gonna have it on a t-shirt. I'm gonna have the Funko Pop. I'm gonna have the plush. I'm gonna make sure I buy 2 of them so I can send them to you.
Yes, I'll take one too. Yeah. So then it wraps up with that little, zoom in and then they zoom out, and you have to wait for season 4 and what's happening.
Yep.
As I look back on this series, as we always do, Ahman, we give our grades, right? And just to recap kind of what these grades mean, it's out of 10. A 6 or 6.5 is my way of saying, go ahead and watch it, I guess, if you really want to. A 7 or a 7.5 is it's good and it's probably worth your time. Yeah. 8 or 8.5 means it's really good and you need to watch it. 9, it's exceptional, must watch. 9.5, it is elite, could not recommend it more. A 10 is just like all time, loved it, elite. Like, what are you doing? You got to watch this. The only 10 I've given so far has been The Last of Us season 1.
Yeah.
So to me, going into this, the way I would grade the overall season, there were a lot of fun, fight scenes, great graphics. I loved all that. I loved all the Grogu moments. They gave us the yes, 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 or the no, 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 and the bad baby and no squeezy. And like, there's so many great moments. I would have loved to see more. I just wanted to be Grogu season.
More Grogu,
basically. But I'll give it an 8. I think it's really good, and obviously you need to watch it. But I loved it. 8. I might go 8.5. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. It's a notch higher. I'm gonna go to a 9 because it's just telling a story of another race or culture within the Star Wars Star Wars universe. Is very cool. And now to kind of see how it begun and then how it ended and now how it's resurfacing in the universe of dealing with the Republic, you got the Republic, you got the Empire, and now here are the Mandalorians. Because when you think back, when I first saw Boba Fett in Star Wars episode 4, A New Hope, or no, it was Empire Strikes Back. I think it was Empire Strikes Back where he was, I think, first seen. It was one or the other, but you always wonder where you knew, okay, he's a badass. And then, but the knowing now where that badass came from, of that culture they lived in, always saying,
right.
This is the way, and it's just like, that when I hear that, when I've heard that every time they mention that line, this is the way, that just tells me that this is our rules. These are our guidelines. And this is what we're going to hold you to this. We're going to hold you accountable of this, how you carry yourself, as a Mandalorian or as a person in general. Because they said that, they said it amongst each other, but they also said it to other people, this is the way. And that was basically saying, hey, this is it. This is how we're going to do it, or else, you don't really have much say so. You got to do it like this, or, that's it. We're out. So I like that part, just kind of, like I said, hold people accountable of what was coming at them and understanding the fact that, hey, this is how this culture is, and this is what not really much you could change about it.
So once again, you give it a 9. I give it an 8.5. Season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Bam. So I know, John, you got to cut and run.
You
got a very good reason. You got to go pick up your daughter.
Yeah, I've got some stuff.
And that's all good right here. So enjoy, be safe. Good show today, man. And see you next week, man.
All right. See ya. Thanks everyone for watching. Yep.
And on that note, let me see. I got a few people here in the chat. And we got Weir, J55, Eeyore, what's up? How you doing? I Ping Win, is in the house. I think Bear Fan showed up as well. Havoc 709 Gaming. How you doing? And I'm gonna wrap up this show and getting the games ready to go here for game releases. So let me get the banners ready first. And then let me intro the segment here.
Release the games. It's time for the game releases. Game releases.
All right. Well, I'm starting with my games first since I'm left on the show here. And hopefully the internet's working because it's been kind of slow here from the last one with the Mandalorian. So I got game releases of the week. And my game release of the week is, let me get to it. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my, no, I thought I had it up. Oh, I do right there. It's right there. I've been hitting all these buttons here and you hear me clicking. I got Jedi Survivor. Play with no buffer.
The order is gone.
There we go.
I was betrayed.
So there is my game. Oh, come on, Jedi Survivor. Come on, internet. So while the internet is buffering and thinking about streaming, Jedi Survivor comes out this week on April 28th. Actually, so Friday. Pre-orders are out and available. I pre-ordered it for myself. We're back. Cal Kestis as he journeyed more deep into the Jedi Star Wars saga and Jedi Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So, like I said, pre-order is out now. You can pre-order the outfit. If you pre-order, you get the outfit for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and also it's inspired by the Jedi Survivor cosmetic part of that. So picking up this is 5 years after the events of Jedi Fallen Order. Jedi Survivor is the third-person narrative action-adventure game from Respawn Entertainment. So developed in collaboration with Lucasfilm, Jedi Star Wars Survivor will be available PS5, Xbox Series X, Windows PC for all platforms. This game is available so Cal Kestis' journey continues, but no longer a Padawan. Cal has come into his own, like we're talking about Grogu, and grown into a powerful Jedi Knight. Hearing the memories and expectations of the Jedi Order with him, his crusade against the Empire only becomes more perilous. So the dark times are closing in. Enemies new and familiar surrounding Cal. We need to decide how far he's willing to go to save the closest to him, his family and friends. So go beyond your training in this game. We've got a nice cinematic combat system, which I love from the first one. Having to use the Force with combos along with the lightsaber and I say fighting skills as well is along with the new additional Force abilities with your new lightsaber, fighting styles, creativity, leverage all those skills to strategically take on an expanded host of enemies, sizing up strengths and weaknesses, and while clever utilizing your training to overcome opponents and solve the mysteries that lay in the path. So hashtag that, man, Jedi Survivor, hashtag that Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and hashtag Star Wars. It is out. I mean, Star Wars game, I love them. I'm always gonna love them. And the only ones I have not played is probably the Old Republic games, which I heard are pretty fun to play. I might have to get into that sooner or later. But I'm so excited when I heard this was coming out a year ago, and now it's here. I'm picking up my copy on Friday. Had my wife pre-order in over at Best Buy, so I'm gonna go swoop that thing up. That's what I'm playing this weekend, and I'm gonna try to stream this Sunday. Maybe stream that, or maybe some Call of Duty, or maybe some Warzone with LinezfadeD, one or the other. Check us out. But like I mentioned, Jedi Survivor out this Friday. Hope you pre-ordered it. You get that cool Obi-Wan skin outfit. There you go. So let me get on to my next game here while this thing is buffering. It's thinking about it right now. Come on. Stop thinking about it. Just get it right. Next game is a fun game here. Another fun game. I saw and played this game at PAX East. It's cute, and how can I describe this game? It's cute. and scary or creepy. I say cute and creepy at the same time. Let me get it on the screen here. It is Cult of the Lamb here. And this game is it's like it has a comedy thing to me, because you got a little lamb that is like literally the devil. Is big in a nutshell. But it's a fun game, and so it's Cult of the Lamb. So this is the big update for the game. While the screen and the video decides, yeah, all right, we're good. So we got Cult of the Lamb here. Update. So the lamb must keep their cult flourishing. This is the cult. So their followers, faithful, power, and talent, as they crusade in the free relics of the old faith. So it's a brand new ways to spread the gospel of the Lamb, and powerful new abilities, exciting new characters, and thrilling new challenges. So delve into the shrouded history of the lands of the old faith. Lands of the old faith, as the lambs fight to conquer those who will question their power. New cult buildings will appease your followers, while new combat abilities will smite opposing heretics. Uncover the secrets of the old faith, so you can be the God you want to be in the massive and the content expansion here. So I know it's cute, a little creepy at the same time. This game came out earlier this week on April 24th, and it's on all platforms. Actually, not all. Yeah, all platforms as well, including Nintendo Switch. So check it out there. So, like I mentioned, it's a fun game, and then it's creepy at the same time. So we hope you have a good time checking it out. Yes, Eeyore, yeah, LOL all day. It's so weird. So let me take the screen off since it's thinking about popping up. So that's our games of the week. And John, quick games, real quick. I'll mention his games. I don't want to take his the win out of his sales. The games that he had, he was going to talk about. Go check out these two games here. One was After Image and Minabo, Minabo. Minabo. So check that out. That was John's game releases picks of the week, and my two, Jedi Survivor and Cult of the Lamb, update of the game. So if you already have the game, you're probably enjoying that update already earlier this week. So again, like, thank you for coming into the show. LinezfadeD, man. Shout out to you, man. Good job today. You know, be open, sharing your story, your journey on how you became a content creator, your life in the military and out till now, and just being really open and shared a lot today. I think it's been that was a big, awesome. It's awesome for you. Appreciate you greatly. Like I said, we'll reach out, and hopefully this weekend I have a Sunday. I don't have nothing to do, so hopefully we could jump on stream, hit some Warzone from Phasmophobia, Demonologist. That's all in my neighborhood. I can handle the horror. It's a video game, so it'll stay in the PC or the Xbox or the PlayStation. So here we go. So everyone else that jumped in the stream today, Jeremy, the Bear Fan, Eeyore, BR, Facial, Weir, Jay, Havoc, thank you. Coming in today, hanging out. Corvette, like the name there. Corvette Jim Dub. I like it. Good name there. B Money Jr. I haven't seen you in a while, man. How you been? Crew Dog, what's good with you? I know you've been playing a little bit of Apex. Been watching, been lurking. Pooch is in the house as well. Thank you for raiding. Oh, thank you for the raid, Pooch. Appreciate you there. The Bearded Patriot, 5150. You was in there early. Drop Shots 94 _94. Appreciate you there coming in. And so hopefully everybody's back next week. So we'll be back here, same bad channel, same bad time here on Twitch, Ahman Green TV at 11 a.m. and on YouTube at the same time, simultaneously, Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. Again, follow all the social media you see there scrolling at the bottom, and you see there John's there's too. He's Twitter and Instagram, John Cash Podcast, and then mine's are right there, Twitter, Instagram, and then the Gamers Lounge on TikTok. Sorry about that in my mouth. My brain is processing kind of like the screen buffering, so it's just slow right now. Mouth is faster than my brain, so happens sometimes. So hope everyone have a great rest of your week. This is Hump Day, so have a great rest of your Hump Day, and hope you finish the week strong. Again, if you're having those moments like we talked about with Linez, hey, take that breath. We all do it. We're human. We're not beyond talking about it. Mental health is a big thing. And whatever you got to do to decompress, whatever you got to do to let people know you need help or you need time just to refocus, take that time. Be aware of that for yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, because sometimes we end up not paying attention to the red flags, like I said earlier. Do that for yourself. Take your time when you need it, because we all do. All right? So everyone have a great rest of your day. And two, that's from my other podcast, my man G, Big Gilbert. All right. Let me see where I'm going in it. Boom. And then we got music. You listen to the music. Listen to my man. What is this? Dance Pop. Here we go. Dance Pop.